idea that you have to get armed and prepare for a zombie apocalypse. I'm trying to give you factual information. I'm trying to give you factual information and a number of ideas. All right, Bill, when we start getting callers that just kind of want to, they're bored and they've been smoking too much pot and they're really alarmed and they want to call Alex Ansary and ask 101 questions, sometimes we have to move on. Why we have to move on is because I'm not your daddy. And see, I'm not the guy that has to give you every answer. I'm giving you a lot of information for free, as I've been doing for years. And some people, they see me talking about this stuff and they go, potential enemy, because he says he knows something more than me. He's saying something that I don't know, and some people feel threatened. You know, I walk around town, supermarkets go around, the way people act sometimes when I walk into a room, very childish. You know, the slamming their hands around, slamming a glass down. You know, it's just like, you know, and it's interesting because people are looking, we used to get these calls a lot. What's the ultimate solution, Alex? A lot of these questions, as if one exists. It's funny, if only it wasn't so tragic. A perfect solution doesn't exist. Just because some of these things are happening doesn't mean that one person's going to have all the information. And if you are looking for one person to explain it all, for example, if there's some of you that are watching me solely every week for information, something's wrong there. Something's wrong because we got to get to a place where we start knowing what's going on. We start feeling it in our heart, or we start taking out all the mind control ops that are out there and start thinking and feeling for ourselves and realizing that this is natural. The idea of us going through a shift where the sun is bombarding our planet with particles that can affect our electric grid and affect our bodies, it's a natural cycle. As far as a militia and things of that nature, no, I'm not talking negatively about that, but that it doesn't necessarily always come down to that. But it's not my path. And so I'm also in the business of selling food and helping people get prepared over at the store, but I'm not going to allow any certain potentials into my reality, i.e. being afraid that I'm going to have to go all Rambo and prepare for the looter apocalypse. And it is true that I meet people every day that say to me, Alex, when it hits the fan, I'm going robbing and raping. You know, I'm going to take mine, yo, I'm going to get mine. I'm going to go pop someone, and I'm going to get in their car, and I'm going to go run to the hills in someone else's truck. Well, if there's an EMP that's coming from the sun, I'll tell you what, unless your truck's pre-73, you ain't going no goddamn where. People are going, oh, do we stay or do we leave? You know what? Unless you leave in time, you might be stuck here. How do you like them apples? I mean, Top Off 4, the martial law drills. It's preparing to shut down the city. A web of control, a localized web of control over the Willamette Valley. I-5, 205, who goes in and out of Washington State. The National Guard being dispatched from Salem, the airport. You know they're building a new base for several million down on I-205 South near Damascus. They're prepping for something. Then they got the Navy over there. We have this report, Bill, let's go to it. We've got the last one, number 45, Navy tests off West Coast to endanger whales. Environmentalists fear. Environmentalists worry that plans to expand Navy testing off the Washington, Oregon, and California coast will pose a danger for whales. I wonder how many of these environmentalists are also opposed to genocide taking place in the Middle East. Even though Obama's the president. Obama, Obama, Obama. Sing it with me, I know. Obama, Obama, Obama. Obama. I just got to relax a little bit after that phone call. Obama, Obama. If you ever just get stressed out and you can't take it anymore, you can just do the Obama dance and just relax and bow your way out of this and ohm your way out of this. And there's no place like home, Toto. There's no place like home. Just say that and it'll be fine. All these people out there, oh, if I think about what's going on, I'm going to make it manifest. Completely misunderstanding the law of attraction. Not trying to manifest beauty and peace on earth and caring about all those victims of war. It's just, I want a big house. I watched The Secret, horrible film. It all focused on what can you get for yourself. Physical items, material items, not how do you save the world, not how do you take that child and take it out of a burning building and stop the rapist and stop the killer. It's just, how do I get the perfect mate so I have the perfect orgasm, the perfect job so I have the perfect mansion, and look at me and my little Ferrari, look at what I manifested. I mean, is this the cutting edge of human evolution? Of what spiritualists in the modern world are talking about? Just, the red Corvette, being a fat American, another trip to McDonald's. That's what I just want to create. Just more pig shit. All right, that's enough of that. No more talk. But I was at some place the other day, and on the big screen it was like True TV, and True TV is just nasty TV. It's just America at its worst, and they're pushing that because they want people to emulate that. Monkey see, monkey do. You know, they have this TV show where these people are at some pig farm. They're slicing open the pig, and they're taking big bloody chunks out of it, and they're making like these grotesque sandwiches that are literally this big. And they're literally just, you know, and it's just promoting it. So, oh God, that looks so sexy. And people look at us doing that on TV around the world and they're like, look at those fat pig Americans, man. Man, we ever get a chance to turn the tables on them, man, we're going to rob and rape them, man. Look at those Americans. They are sick and perverted, just, like rolling around the pig blood. And that's not us. That's not you and me. Notice how, Americans are being projected around the world. It's all part of the conspiracy, the global conspiracy, to bring in the New World Order and make us their slaves. Sit there and use us like whores. We're about to get kicked out of the car. It's not going to be pretty. It's cold outside and we're broke. And there's a bunch of predators going up and down this boulevard just waiting to take a bite out of us. It's time to wake up before it's too late. Wake up your children to what's taking place with the economy. Teach them about what's going on, not to get in debt, not just run to the university, take any job and get involved in business administration for something that won't be existing in tomorrow's world. It's just not right. Kids need somebody to teach them what's going on. The kids need teachers. We need children's books, children's cartoons to explain this stuff to them. I don't have time to make it, but there needs to be somebody to make children's books and something to explain this to a child, someone that's still developing, that there are bad men, bad systems, bad credit cards out there in the world, bad contracts, bad mercenaries, bad armies, bad military industrial complex, bad men. Bill, go ahead and let that caller on. Go ahead, caller. All right. What do we have for videos here? We had a couple videos, and I'm not going to play them. One was 8 minutes, one was 5 minutes. We really need to have a 2-hour show. The audience members need to start a riot or something. Come on down, start picketing outside the box TV, outside here at PCM. We have to start going to 2 hours. Start covering all this stuff. So we covered the Russia-China oil pipeline. We covered all that. China will cut rare earths export quotas. China eyes California's high-speed rail system. So much going on. China buying Oregon grapes. China buying California grapes. It's all good on the surface, but how long are we going to be selling it to them at that price? Might be just giving it to them at one point. Europe, they're banning herbs. Graphics number 43. You've heard of Codex Alimentarius. We talked about Senate Bill 510. In Europe, they're looking to ban hundreds of herbs. There's a list of what some of these herbs are. Some of you might recognize them, like skullcap. I'm familiar with that. Skullcap's on the list for termination. The terminator must terminate these life-saving, disease-fighting herbs that our ancestors have been taking for years and years and years. Oh, let's go back to new seasons. Part of me just wants to protest new seasons. Like, when was the last time you ever protested the war? What the hell ever happened to the anti-war movement in this town? They sit there just like robots. They can't make eye contact. They're just surrounded with all these organic veggies and all of this, but they're just so unhappy. All of that, none of it, none of that material stuff. Just like when I said before, on the Big Macs will make you happy. Just the quinoa and the rice and all that stuff and the organic spring mix for $4.99, your little organic little plastic container. It's not going to make you happy either, because we're still not a community like we've got to be to get through the stuff that's coming. Oh, I'm scary because I'm talking about you've got to start looking at people. They've got to start talking to you. There's got to be some dialogue. There's got to be a lot more to Portland than a cool place to get fucked, laid, and drunk and high. That's what this town is. People come to this city for the lifestyle. Woo! Party like it's 1929. Drink like you've never drank in your life. Smoke the best bud that you've never smoked in your life. You can do it in Portland. The smuttiest, nastiest porno stores and strip bars. You can do it in Portland, Oregon. People come here for the lifestyle. We've got this dark, brutal, barbaric past from the Shanghai tunnels to the rape and murder and genocide of the Native Americans. The energy hasn't been dealt with yet. We've got to stop partying all the time, and we got to start cleaning out the dark energy that lives in Portland. This town's got demons in it. This town has got some vile sexual energy running through it. Some of us can feel it more than others. Some are just dancing at the urban shamas that have moved in this town, just to party, just open up the chakras, and just let it all out. Who cares whether it's light or dark? You got all these people, the artists. And this ain't no Christian rant, folks. There are demons out there and angels and things that are more likened to the light, things that are loving and nourishing. There are some other predatory energies out there on our planet. This is nothing new. I'm not making this up. It's real. And Portland's a vortex for lots of that interesting, wacky stuff. Portland's weird for a reason. Portland's freaky for a reason. So the question is, do we just allow the environment to dictate how we feel, what kind of people we are? Because I'll tell you what, you go to another city, the women are different there. They do smile a lot more. The men are different there. They're not all walking around with chops like this. They all label themselves as hipsters and, you know, got this whole, because I drive a bike or have a ride a bike thing, my flatulence is the best perfume to ever come out of a biological creature entity of any type. You know, it just doesn't exist. Portland's got that unique thing to it, but it's also got that brilliance. Despite this weird ego that it seems to bring, it's also got that other element, the genius. The genius that I think if the grid is going down the next couple of years, we're going to start to see come out of people. I mean, people making electricity out of bikes. People doing the most profound things. I mean, Portland's already on board with the need to grow gardens. But I mean, when the community aspect comes in, it will come when we have to do it. When all of a sudden, we're not able to just sit there and text phone our little boyfriend anymore. We're not able to use this as the primary form of communication. This has to end, my folks, my friends. As the primary form of communication, Facebook, all that, we've got to go down, the grid's got to go down for our minds to be collectively set free. If the grid doesn't go down, if we continue as a civilization, who the hell, God knows what kind of shit we're going to be in by the time we get there. Microchip society, Chinese invasion, I don't know what's coming, folks. But the government's worried about something. Moscow, I mean, they've got tunnels there and they've got tunnels in China. They know something's coming. Scientists know something's coming. Amateur astronomers are seeing fluctuations and changes in the way that the sun behaves. So I think we need to realize that life, the reality to life. I remember learning this when I was young, when I was 14. Reading books on Eastern philosophy, the only reality is that life is constant change. Life is constant change, and suffering and pain comes from attachment to something that's constantly changing and in a state of flux. And if you realize that the end of the world isn't coming, but a state of change, maybe we can adapt and actually shift gradually so we can have fun and thrive in these changing times. Because I hope you don't think that I'm going to be in some sort of pain in the future when all this comes crashing down. I hope you don't think I'm going to be living in my own private little nightmare. Because my day is coming. I'm building my tribe right here in Portland. I don't know whether I'm going to stay or when I'm going to leave, but I'll tell you what. I want to start creating big goals. And I want to achieve big goals. As these things unfold, people like me are going to have even better credibility. And I'm starting to think about how should Portland be? How should we start to talk about the reality that we do want to create on air and calling in to Adam's office and start pushing forward more certain programs instead of being on the defensive, worried about the Joint Task Force, the FBI. They have us on the defensive. We have to be on the offensive and pushing forward. Of course, Tryon Farms, they were, Tryon Creek rather, in Southwest Portland, Recode Oregon, that whole thing, Recode Portland, with Sam Adams, and the whole thing about, yes, I know, we'll go to that phone call in a minute, the whole recode Portland. Building codes being changed, or codes that say, well, you can't have a compost toilet, or you can have so many different, you can only have so many chickens, things like that.